And we're live.
Greetings, one and all.
No, wait, we can't hear you yet.
Ah.
Now they can hear you. Say it
Hey.
again.
Greetings, one and all.
That's much
So
less
obedient.
offensive than what you said a second ago. Session 140. I made a mistake of miscalculating several weeks ago, and I've been saying that we're 140 sessions for about 3 weeks on the YouTube, but this is actual session 140.
Yeah, you said that last week.
Yeah, and the week before.
Aiming for 365.
No, aiming for like 152. We are
Easily
in
done.
the end game at this time. Who wants to remind us what happened last week? Halvor.
I think Cora wants to remind us.
Oh, well, if she does, great.
My finger was hovering over the push to talk button, ready to share with the
for it.
world.
Share.
So we turned up at not Ravenloft, what's it called? The
Good
Argynvost.
start.
So they've all got similar names. It's very confusing.
Argynvost Holt.
Yes, Argynvost Holt. And for some reason we couldn't explore the lower floor. I believe we just didn't want to go there. So we went up and we had a chat with. That was this time. Was that the last time that we spoke to those guys
This time.
upstairs? That was the last time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we went up and we spoke to the remaining Argynvost Holtians about the various things that we needed to get done. And one of the things that we needed to get done was to go down and kill the really, really angry dude, which we were assuming was still just going to be one really, really angry dude. But we got there and there was, 5 of them? There was a lot of them. And they were a lot harder to kill than we were anticipating. And I summoned an elk and they killed my elk. And then we just spent the whole time, the stupid arrow girl firing at me and hitting me, and I was very annoyed with her, and she kept hiding, and it wasn't very effective, and yet I still came to miss her. Lots of nat ones rolled. It was upsetting.
There's a lot of nat ones rolled. Both.
It was very upsetting.
And a lot of crits by Vlad.
Yeah, God, yeah. Anyway, long story short, we killed him.
Unbelievable. Didn't even mention the 3 fireballs in one round.
Yeah, he did 3 fireballs in one round. He was very pleased with himself. In fact, they were really good, actually. They did a lot of damage.
To Ez.
Bereat. She can't die. She's the chosen one.
Oh, the chosen one can absolutely die.
And I believe that's a big summary of where we got. What did anything happen right at the end? After we
ID'd the magic items, and we're about to step into the mausoleum to return Argynvost's skull.
But the skull's still outside, is it not?
Yeah, but you know.
Yeah, it's
We have to go grab it.
outside the front door. Godfrey put a nice cheese plant in it.
Can't beat a good cheese plant, can you, Harrison?
Apparently not.
No.
Let me take us through to the session.
We're all actually looking pretty healthy, right? Oh. Transition.
Yeah, didn't Godfrey have some good healing spells?
Not just Godfrey.
did have some good healing
Bart
spells.
Handless, for the first time, had some actual good heals. Oh, that's very loud.
Let me turn that down then.
I whip it out and urinate all over that guy, Vladimir. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, it's the only way to resurrect a revenant, and he's back.
He stinks of piss. Nothing worse than a revenant that stinks of piss.
Right then, don't put the weapons in the bag of holding and head to the mausoleum.
We always did an arrow collect, didn't we?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good point.
She got some magic arrows.
Did you already put them in your inventory?
Well, no, because I couldn't put the other girls in the inventory because I don't think they existed yet.
Oh, yeah, because when they +1 arrows, can you add some +1 arrows to her?
They are plus
They are
2
plus
arrows.
2. Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Come on, we're in the end game now.
I thought I gave her some. Let's have a look.
I think you said she collected 10. I'm presuming in a really arduous Chuckle Brothers fashion, we managed to get this massive skull through the fucking house.
I think it needs to be played out.
Ugh.
We
Just
went
because
to a woodland fair
There's
this
so
weekend.
many like really annoying like corridors and like bits of furniture you need to get it round. And
There's loads of
the room with all these pillars.
yeah, with loads of vases on them as well.
Yeah.
little pedestals with Ming vases everywhere.
But yeah, a period of time later, you would be able to get out the dragon skull. During which time, I imagine Halvor is thinking he wishes he had learnt the command word for this because he could have just zipped over the top of Argynvostholt in it, like Dr. Robotnik.
We went to a woodland festival this weekend, and we saw Vikings fighting, and we saw lots of different arrows that were there, and it was very cool. And we felt a little bit like Cora and Halvor, not gonna lie.
Isn't it really nice how over the last 2 years she's been turned into a bit more of a nerd?
At a fucking glacial pace, but yeah.
I mean, I'm a vet. I'm already a nerd.
Our kind of nerd now,
Yeah.
not just an animal nerd.
Oh, sometimes she'll make a reference when we're like watching TV or something to rolling checks. I'm just like, oh.
Oh, leave her, Halvor. That's too far.
Fucking geek.
You know. Ugh. I mean, Halvor just move our tokens away from her. Ugh.
So, the dragon skull is brought through. The mausoleum with a tower above it stands before you. What are we doing?
Being chased around at this very pivotal moment. I guess I mean, there's no red miasma
There is
around.
not.
No coalescing of things.
Let's send Ez in first.
Yeah, she can't die.
No.
I guess Halvor's stepping up first. He's that boyo.
And it opens into a large chamber. Looking up, you see that this goes 3 or 4 floors up this tower, but there is no upper floors. There's no stairs or structures. It is just like a tall, empty tower reaching up. Dotted around the room, unfortunately, I don't have an asset for this, is the perfectly preserved bones of a dragon. Missing the skull, obviously. Laid out in a fashion that is clearly of great reverence.
Doesn't look a very big space to have a whole dragon skeleton in it.
It's a
Dragon's
coiled,
surprisingly
coiled
small
around.
in D&D.
Yeah.
Well, we bring in the skull and lay it as much as we can where a skull should be laid. At the top of a neck bone.
Connected to shoulder bone.
As you place it there, it kind of snaps to ever so slightly, and all of the bones just over the course of a few seconds develop this very soft sort of silvery ethereal glow to them, which strengthens, and then there is a single large pulse, and you see this large ball of silvery light rapidly rise up through the empty space, reaching the top of the tower, where it just erupts, and the room you're in is just awash with this very, very almost harsh from this sort of distance, this white floodlight that comes down, and it feels renewing. It feels, you feel very much like your resolve is strengthened. You know, this was something that had not been achieved for centuries, had been deemed impossible, had kept all of these revenants sort of sentenced to this eternal suffering, and you've returned the bones, and the bright shining light serves as a testament to that.
I'm sure that Strahd will see that a mile away.
Halvor
Hmm.
and Barthandelus and Cora, you see as you're looking up and you feel this particular sense of accomplishment, Halvor, your shield shines quite brightly with the same sort of light, and you see at the either side of your shield, the top portion of it, where the dragon crest was, dragon wings grow on the shield, giving it a bit more width, and the shield becomes visibly thicker, almost like a bit of a tower shield, but it doesn't feel any heavier in your arm, Halvor, and your shield has reached its exalted form.
Yay!
Yen, this bright shining light above us, does it seem like a spirit in nature, I guess?
I think that is a safe assumption.
Can I see if I can try and extract its true name?
You would get the sense before you cast that spell that there is
Just
not
a spell?
an entity. Well, if you feature,
Feature.
but there is not an entity present here that could be
Okay.
queried. This doesn't seem to be an actual spirit remaining here, more just an essence. And looking back to the doorway at any point, you would see it is bright enough outside that it is clear. It is apparent that the light is also visible outside. And right on cue, it's my fucking son.
The light of your life.
Just muting my mic for a second. Right. Yeah, you can see that the light is clearly visible outside this tower.
Well, quite the beacon we've set up for ourselves. Think we can expect some incoming?
I'm not sure when, but I certainly think that we need to keep an eye out.
Yeah. Well,
I know that they're dead and gone, but I feel the need to at least lay the bones of all these people somewhere. There's a few open graves, I'm sure you saw, so I'm going to start putting them away.
Were they not the graves that the other people just came? Or were
Yeah.
they oh, yeah, that's who you're referring to. I'm putting the bones away.
I'll put the Vladimir's friends into the graves in the graveyard, and then move the bones of Vladimir and Godfrey into the alcoves of this little building.
Okay. As you step outside, you see from the top of this tower, it's like the brightest white lighthouse you've ever seen. It actually does extend just like a solid floodlight of light directly up, which just hits the cloud cover of Barovia and illuminates out. It is safe to say this, and it just doesn't seem to be dissipating or diminishing. It is constant. Just from seeing how bright it is and how wide it spreads, you're confident that this could be seen from every corner of Barovia. And as you're seeing it, and you again feel that sort of strengthened resolve and that sense of hope from seeing it, for the remainder of your time in Barovia, you each have a +1 to saving throws, which I will apply to your character sheets now.
Is it worth it now doing this, Cora? Yeah.
What, is she feeling a bit tireless? Oh, sorry, you mean...
then she was like, "We need to go do the Fanes. This Argynvost hole is stupid."
Well, meh.
Bartandalus has a +1. Oh, have you just done it yourself,
No.
Halvor, already?
Nope.
Or is that from something else you have?
Cloak of Protection.
Ah, okay. Well, I will amend that to be now +2. I better add a plus onto Bart, actually. And Cora. So yes, as long as you remain in Barovia. Oh my Jesus Christ, Cora has a lot of bonuses in her. Global saving throw bonus. +1, +1, +1, +1, +1d4. What the hell is that about?
Well, that's certainly not accurate. 1d4 will be a bless from some time, but she shouldn't be blessed now.
So how many +1s does Cora normally have until I remove a 1d4? She's showing 4.
Just saving throws?
Didn't
Yeah.
I get? Oh no, that was concentration checks, wasn't it?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that gives a bonuses to saving throws.
Then we'll take him back down to just +1. No wonder she survived everything. She has melee weapon attack bonus +1d4. Range weapon attack bonus 1 +1d4. Melee spell attack +1d4. Global ability check bonus 1d4.
Oh, so the Stone of Good Luck is ability checks and saves.
Does she have the
And
stone,
then-
does she?
She
Yeah.
does.
Okay, so we'll give her a
And then-
+2.
+1 will be from the fighting style to attack rolls, I think. But most of that sounds wrong. I imagine a lot of it will be governed by active effects.
Yeah, let's clear all that shit out. So yeah. You
So I've
each-
actually got worse from this happening. I don't think we should have come and done this after
Well,
all.
it makes leads a bit of more sense to why those your attack rolls have been so insane, because you had like +1, +1, +1, +1d4 to your ranged attack. So potentially
Yeah, that sounds
sometimes
about right.
you were just getting like an extra 8 before your character features added on. So yes, bodies buried. I mean, it only takes about 20 minutes to do that, given that, as you saw when you came out here, Vlad had raised them from here to fight you. So there are open graves with piles of soft earth next to them, and if you really wanted to, the names are on the headstones.
Well,
You don't know
what-
the names though, no?
You heard a couple of them, but
Okay.
it's an unnecessary puzzle unless you really remember who.
What do you think? Is there anything else we need to check out in Argynvost? Fancy slaying some spiders?
I feel
No.
like we might have more pressing things.
Have we done the wooden stuff for the other guy? Did we get that done?
Oh yeah, he's already.
He's passed on, apparently.
Well, I thought
yeah.
that was the case, but he's not been ticked off on our list, has he?
Oh yeah, give us some nice quest log tips.
We couldn't get into the mausoleum until we'd done all of them. So
Ah.
repairing Argynvost hold. Oh yes.
Oh my god. Now it's just restore the Fanes and Halvor's shame.
Oh, shame.
Shame. Well, we're this far out. I guess it makes sense to head to Berez next. Try and restore the Swamp Fane.
Sure, shall we head off immediately?
This was the one that I was a little bit concerned as to how we were going to do, because we have to try and get Baba Lysaga's heart by the sound of it. Or Strahd's heart, whichever you prefer.
Well, hopefully her body is too disgusting and warped from evil magic to decompose, and maybe we'll be able to find it.
I did have the theory that the scary dead baby may have Strahd's heart, or her heart.
Oh yeah, the baby.
Wait, was the baby's name, was it Strahd or
Strahd von
Sergei?
Zarovich.
Strahd.
Yeah, its name was
Hmm.
Strahd von Zarovich, but then
It wasn't Strahd von
Bartandalus.
Zarovich.
Oh yeah, it was Strahd, but then Barthandelus decided to rename it Sergei. And they've been calling it Sergei.
No,
And
right.
it's
In
lived
character,
in a bag ever since.
these guys don't know that it had the name Strahd von Zarovich.
No, but we still knew that she had this weird half-dead, undead baby.
I started calling it Sergei, but yeah. In character, you guys don't know that she was calling it Strahd. Not that it is Strahd or anything. It's just an
The heart of
autonomous...
Strahd.
Yeah, could be. Could try it. Depends, DM. Do you want us to go killing babies?
I mean, you've already killed.
I mean, it's
this
a dead
campaign.
baby.
Well, it's a construct of a baby, I think. But hey, we can try it.
Well, we don't necessarily have to kill it, just have to take the heart there. So, you know, if it's got the heart inside it, then we've done our job, right?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out. And off to Perez they went. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
So, leaving Argynvostholt, did you bring the wagon to Argynvostholt? I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that map as we get on our way. Yeah, we set off from... Oh, sorry?
I presume no matter where we are now, if we can basically see where Argynvostholt
You
is
can,
now.
yeah, you can just see a solid beam of white light going directly up, hitting the clouds, illuminating quite an area through just like cloud glare. It is inescapable. But you get on the wagon, you travel. Is there anything you wish to discuss or check on whilst you are riding along the Svalich Road?
Do we know what happened to Sergei?
To
The real one or
to the
baby?
baby?
The baby Sergei. Didn't he
No, he's
try
in
and
my bag.
fool us? But did we know that it's in your bag? Didn't you try and fool us that you'd left it
Oh
somewhere?
no, I'd taken him out while we were at the thingy, while we were on the Selenka at one point. I fessed up that I did have him.
Okay. So he's just sitting in your bag.
Just sitting in my bag of holding. Yeah, well, he don't breathe, so it don't really matter, does it? Leave him to it. Did you say the shield doesn't require attunement, DM?
The arrow catching shield, it does not know.
I will equip the arrow. If you can drop it onto me, I will equip the arrow catching shield, please.
Oh yeah, has anything changed about the Argent Aegis?
Yeah, give me some moments.
It's just nicer, that's all.
Just
yeah,
pretty.
It's just looking slick.
+1 charisma.
Let's have a look. Sir Hogan Baromir and Barthandelus. You now have the arrow catching shield.
This isn't an additional +2, it's just a normal shield, yeah?
Yeah. Regular shield, but with an AC bonus against missile attacks.
Oh no, it's not. So it is a +2. So okay, so it's normally it's a +4 basically.
No, it's a regular shield, but it has an additional +2.
+2, yeah.
to
So I get +2 off a shield normally. So it is a plus. I'm getting +4 when I equip this one, but I'm getting an additional +2. Yeah, don't worry about it.
We probably should have had a short rest, shouldn't we?
Well, we're doing pretty well, honestly. We
I'm not
can.
doing very well. I would like at some point along the road to have a short rest.
Well,
We're in
Barthandelus
the
had to
wagon.
spend like 40 minutes identifying, so...
Yeah, and then we've only been walking. It's not difficult thingy what we're doing. So I think you can do stuff during a short rest. You don't have to sit there doing nothing.
Can we apply a short rest, Ian?
Well, whilst we're travelling, after a short time, you hear the howling of wolves
we not
Oh.
killed them all by now?
And also, I never noticed that strange red glow at the top. I don't know what red glow on this map's meant to be, because there's not a light effect on the map. Has that always been there all campaign? A strange red glowing in the Svalich Road trees.
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you
2
messing
of
with
them.
us?
Oh. Yeah.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Eyes in the woods. Don't know how I've played literally 3 years and not noticed that. Yes, and same as a couple of days ago, 2 wolves just cross over path about 150 foot ahead and see you. And they're travelling from south to north, and they see you, and they just bolt north in a very sort of skittish fashion.
So,
They bolt past us. We see them.
No,
They're kind of like.
just way down the road. They just bolt from one. They kind of cross on the road, and they see you, and they just bolt ahead.
yeah, because remember, we don't think that Strahd has got a hold over them anymore, so they're just behaving like scaredy little wolves.
Maybe.
So can we have a short rest? Is that okay?
By the time you start to arrive at the road to Berez, yes, you can apply a short rest. And you obviously reach that point where when you turn off on the road, a time later, the road stops being suitable for a wagon to travel on. And Ez reminds you that this is where you felt the need to leave the wagon last time. Are you disembarking from there?
I mean, if we've got to leave the wagon, we've got to leave the wagon. Not much choice, eh?
Oh, everybody else is able to load the new map except me.
Wow, this
You
looks
cannot
very different.
You cannot switch scenes until the scene you are loading on is finished, but the Berez map will not load for me. I will have to... No, can I reload my Foundry? That's better. Yeah, it obviously doesn't look like this. The mists have cleared a lot. I had a Berez soundboard before, but it seems to have now vanished. Yes, the scarecrows are not here. The giant hut and the floating skull obviously is not here. Everything else is very much as you see here. You remember last time the fog was so thick you could barely see, 5-10 feet. It is now thinned out significantly. You can see the large flame on the statue. Did you identify? You went to the statue. I can't remember if you identified.
Merida or something?
Yeah, Marina.
What?
Yeah, Marina's statue. And you see the 2 separate little clusters of houses, about 1,000 feet apart, where the 2 main surviving portions of the village existed. There is no need for you to do a hex crawl, but the swamp still seems to be quite treacherous. Who is leading the way, or what measures are you taking as you navigate the swamp? Are you heading towards, I imagine, Baba's hut?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Oh. Where is? I thought I had walk on water. I had water walk as a ritual.
You've definitely used it at some point.
Yeah, I used it for the entirety of this thingy. Where's my spell gone? Water. I've not got it anymore. What the hell's this? I wasn't getting it from anything, was I?
Not to my recollection. I thought it was always just something that you had.
Oh, unless. Is it a thingy spell? Cleric spell? I couldn't have because I was casting it as a ritual. I don't know why I've no longer got it. I must have accidentally deleted it at some point. Am I safe to say I can put it back on DM?
Yeah. Not sure why it would be.
I've not a clue.
You've never had that significant, like a change to.
No.
Unless you want to have a spell. No, we identified, but you'd fucked up your multi-class before we came here, I think. So it
Oh,
isn't
well,
like,
I used
it
the
isn't like
walking
you've
on
lost it.
water on Lake Zarovich.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we used it right at the beginning. Right, okay, well, I was
okay.
spending 10 minutes to cast Walk on Water. While I pull out the spell. Unless there is an issue. 1 second. Where are the spells? That's creation. Where am I pulling spells from?
You should have a spells compendium.
Actions, spells, scene pattern, Ouija board. There, spells test. Get it. Water walk. And level. Ooh. No. Okay. Okay, there we go. Water walk. Spell grants the ability to move across any liquid surface such as water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava, as if it were harmless solid ground. Can do up to 10 willing creatures within range. If target creature submerged, yada yada yada, lasts for 1 hour.
Okay.
I imagine now that we can see everything, it's not an hour to reach Lasagas.
No, you're not stumbling around. You make it there in about 20 minutes.
Nice.
Let me just add you to a map.
Oh. I believe we've seen this one before, have we?
Yeah, you're in the ruins, well, the peripheral ruins, but were around the swamp where you met and fought Lysaga. The hut is missing from the map, I'm afraid, because of an asset issue.
Didn't we tie her to a tree or something?
I don't know. She fell onto a tree and impaled herself. Over here near this dragon skull. Oh, there's another one. Too late. I saw it DM.
I feel like it was right by here.
Was it not near this big black void over here?
Yes, so looking over, you do see past the island that has the... I think the hut fell down, I think, kind of mid-swamp, but didn't submerge. It was walking around, dragging rocks up the floor, if you remember, and hurling basically boulders around. You do see a horribly gnarled, well, the top boughs of a horribly gnarled tree, surrounded by just this thick, dark green smoke.
Mm.
And even from here, the swamp is not a particularly verdant place, but having been here before, you observe, even from where you are now, how there's some walls. There's walls from before. You observe how the ground just seems to be decayed. There's a region of the swamp water around where you can see this tree is protruding from the smoke. That the swamp water just seems to be more like an oil slick.
Wait, and so that's different from what it was before.
Yeah, it was just a tree when Babala Saga was suplexed from about 80 foot up onto it. If you remember, she was flying higher and higher in the skull. Halvor was clinging onto the bottom, being pulled up. He climbed up, grappled her, and pulled them both off and fell from a great height. And they were above this tree. She had very little health, so she got absolutely impaled through the tree. It was a very cool kill.
So, what do you think the smoke is, Bartandalus? Or Halvor? Maybe Halvor will know.
Do I recognise it, DM?
Make me an Arcana check.
Make me a mysterious miasma check. Oh, so arcane.
So, yeah, the Arcanist. You recognise it as being similar to spells that create these foul, choking odours to sort of disable and
stinking fog
harm enemies. Yeah, this just seems to be, just from seeing how it's behaving and how it's not rolling along in a direction from a caster. It just seems to be some sort of naturally forming variant of the spell from whatever unpleasantness lies within.
And we can't see through. Is it like thick night? It's like darkness.
It is a
spell almost combined.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Perhaps using magic to locate the corpse would be the quickest way in and out. I don't imagine that lingering in there would be good for one's health.
No. If it's anything like magical darkness, then chances are we won't be able to see inside it at all anyway.
What's it going to be?
I will make a gesture, kind of like casting my hand out in front of me, kind of like across the straight arc, and then kind of like whip it back straight away. And Evisio. And I'll cast Dispel Magic. And I'm going to have to cast it at 5th level. Will potentially, if it is a magical effect, choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level on a successful check. So I'm just going to roll it, and do you want me to do it privately or anything? No, just without you turning around and saying, oh, it's not magical. So I can, it's up to you if you want, or unless it's just going to,
Yeah, just roll it for me.
So I have to do, so it's an intelligence. Intelligence. Ability check.
Psych, it's a level 15 spell.
The smoke fades, and you see where Lysaga was impaled on the tree and you left her, the body has changed somewhat. Have any of you, this is just a perfect reference of this, have any of you seen Annihilation?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It is very much, I'll find a picture for you now, but it is very much like the body that is fused to the wall of the swimming pool. The body seems to have been sort of absorbed by the tree, and fungus is spreading out from it and just stretching out in these almost veins onto it. The body itself does not seem to really be decayed, but it also wasn't a particularly healthy body in life anyway. It looks much as it did before. It looks almost like, instead of Lysaga decomposing and being consumed by the tree, it almost looks like she is spread out and is gradually infesting it. But still, she seems very dead.
Man, why did we not just burn her body? This is crazy.
Because we need her heart. We need it.
No, I'm saying why didn't we? I don't know why we didn't do it in the first place. Did we not try and destroy her body?
Nope.
Wow, that seems crazy. That we
I'll
would have
send
left
you
her.
via Discord, Bartandalis, the image.
I look forward to it. Oh, okay.
Well, Cora, do you want to do the honors, or would you like me to?
Damn.
What, climb up there and get her?
I was mostly thinking about removing the heart.
Well, can we reach her yet?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't land particularly high up. She's only about 6 foot up on the main bow.
If you can get her down, Halvor, I'll chop her open.
I will use a loop of rope, tie a small lasso, and place that over her, and then yank her down. Because I don't really want to touch her if I can avoid it.
Just rends her in two because she's that decomposed.
Make me an athletics check, Halvor. Do I still have a token for her just to represent this? Yeah, I do. So where are you standing when you do this? Where is everybody?
I think we're where we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
I'm
I'd
gonna
get
throw
closer
another
so I
rope
can
over.
put the loop over and then back up this way.
Then make me that athletics saving throw. Athletics. Oh, you've done it. Yeah.
Mhm.
There is a horrid as the body is. I mean, it isn't just one big tug. You have to kind of work it up a little bit to sort of pull it a ways up the branch that's protruding through her stomach. But with a bit of work, you do manage to pull the body off. You would all see as you do, but you're all a fair distance from it, just spores, a cloud of spores as she's wrenched off, just leaks out and drifts. But then the body is partially submerged in the tar-like bog water that Bartandalis is magically standing on the surface of, as the body hits the floor.
Cool. Well, I would like to get my silver dagger out and go to town on that bitch.
Tell me through what you're doing.
Cora is no stranger to skinning and gutting things, so she works with precision. She doesn't do the obvious.
Why is she skilled with skinning and gutting things?
Because that's how she's lived her life.
Oh my God, she lived in the city. She jacked the
No,
Ripper.
she didn't. She lived on the outskirts of the city and had to fend for herself. Why do you think she's so good at hunting? Come on.
Because you changed her character halfway through the campaign.
Okay, so you're getting hacked open.
All right, fine, I don't. Yeah. I just go with a dagger and stab around in the hope that I'll find a heart. No, I don't. I'm very good. I'm going through her abdomen. I'm going to go up through her diaphragm, and I'm going to delicately go to the area I'm hoping to find her heart. Do I find a heart?
Well, first of all, make me a medicine check.
I like how I think the cutaway at the end of the campaign when we've all gone back to our normal lives, Cora just starts up and she's just a butcher in the city, just like the best butcher, like all the nicest trimmings.
Fuck you.
Cora,
I mean,
you
Get her spleen.
no, you get the heart, but as you are withdrawing it, your wrist just pushes down with a little bit more pressure than you intended on the diaphragm that you had cut through, and a puff of the spores just out into your face, and you just cough and have to blink them away. It smells horrendous, but you do have your hand now wrapped around this black horrendous. If a heart could look like the lungs of someone who smoked 200 a day, it is that sort of heart. It is just this oily, tumor-ridden, gnarled mass. And yes, Cora, it is still warm.
Ooh, gross. I don't want to keep touching it, so
And a few seconds later, you feel a single slow beat. Sorry, go on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It just
Oh my
squirms in your
god.
fingers for a second, and all of you see it just give a single slow pulse.
just crap just dips out of it.
It's still alive. I look to Bartandlis and Halvor. This doesn't change anything, right?
I mean, I guess it's better for what we're trying to do, maybe.
It doesn't change what we're gonna do, but I don't know. Maybe like a lich, she's magically protected herself from some kinds of death. I don't know. I think we still need to use it for the ritual, so as long as we have it, I think we're okay.
I don't want to keep touching it, so I get a rag from my bag and wrap it up in that. But I don't want to put it in the bag of holding because it's going to be too close to the little zombie baby. So instead, I'm going to keep it in my backpack.
Okay. Oh, by the way, as well, Cora, can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please? DC 18.
No, it's the spores, isn't it? Can I use my inspiration?
If you want to use inspiration, you have absolutely you can. Yeah.
I've had it for like 100 sessions. I might as well use it. I've only got 12 left, apparently. What? That was shit. What a waste.
What the hell? That is. So you have a plus 11 to Constitution saving throws.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
one
I didn't
is
know that. I didn't know that Ranger was con proficient.
they aren't, but she took the resilient con feat.
Very
Because
nice.
I didn't want my owls to keep disappearing.
And you didn't want filthy swamp spores to work their way into your brain. Yeah. Okay. Good. You
Before she puts the heart away, can I try and do extract name on the heart?
on the heart. You
Still alive,
can,
right?
You can.
I'm gonna try and do. I'm gonna tick it off.
Okay.
Only because I've realised that I have a number of extract names equal to my intelligence modifier now, and I forgot that. So I've upped them all now. So yeah, so wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, but I'm presuming she had advantage. But if she's not the same creature, who knows? But yeah, it's a DC 17 wisdom. If it works.
It does not work.
Okay.
remind myself the wording of the spell because it really the feature. It really throws me that after using it so consistently, you've cast it on a floodlight and a heart.
It says a creature. It says a creature.
Cool.
So
okay. Cool.
that could be, anything really. A stat block.
So yeah, you have the heart, Cora.
Let's
Are
get
you
out of
just
here.
carrying it in your hand? Are you wrapping it?
No,
in
I've wrapped
something?
it up in a rag and I put it in my bag because I don't want to be touching it.
Okay, yeah. You would notice a short time later, whilst travelling, a wetness in your bag, and just black tar has just soaked whatever rags you wrapped it in, and it's getting on your stuff a bit. And even if you were to like wring it out or change the rag, it just it consistently leaks an amount of this filth that doesn't make sense for the volume of the organ doing it. Do you just leave the rest of the body in the floor, by the way?
I mean, we should at least try and burn it, right?
Sure.
Take her head.
I mean, apparently she's full of tar, so I think it's going to go well.
Oh yes, an infinite source of black ichor. That's exactly what we need.
You want to take the head, Barthandelis?
Yeah. Is it like decomposed enough that I could basically just like kick my feet through the neck? So I don't have a blade.
It's not really decomposed, but yeah, you've done enough of these now that you can remove the head without a check.
Cool. I'll have Baby Lasagna's head.
You have Baby Lasagna's head. Who is burning the body?
Albor sounded keen.
Do I have fire creating items? I do have a tinderbox, but I'm not sure her dead body will be dry enough. I'll try and tinderbox it, I suppose. I'll get some dry twigs from the trees and stuff, and try and make a small fire on her body, and hope that she also catches.
Yeah, takes a couple of goes, but it does start to take, and the corpse goes up. You would all have adequate notice when you start to see it burning that a lot of the spores start to get released. You would have plenty of notice to back the fuck up if you all wanted to. Bartender steps closer. He doesn't believe in the virus. The spell is the disease. Yeah, so the corpse goes up. You have the head. You have the heart.
Let's get out of here. We need to go to the Fane.
Yes. And you'll be able to see the Fane is to the south of here. You remember it was across the river. The place seems so much smaller now that you can actually see where you're going compared to before. Yet ironically, not on this map. I've just realised as well. Let me just check something. Who is leading the way whilst you're going?
Always Cora.
Yeah, I'm on a mission. I'll lead.
You're on a mission, are you? I've just realised I think there is actually a new piece of art I can show you. Yes, there is. Let's have a look here. Just give me one moment and you will see. Do you see? Okay, yes. So you oh dear. Oh Halvor. Oh dear Halvor.
Hmm?
Well, it was red, so it means that you did it.
No, it doesn't.
I've seen enough willies to know that was drawn by you. Oh yeah, also I just realised there was a date and time on this map. That is not the case. So, you travel south until you get to the river. You look across and you can see the rise up to the Swamp Thing.
How are we going to cross this river?
Can
Probably
we
by walking on the
walk on
water like we
water?
have been doing.
Did you cast it on us as well?
It lasts for an hour, unless we were there for like 40 minutes messing about with baby lasagna. I think we're fine.
Okay, then we'll continue to walk on water.
Off we
Runs
go.
out! Haha, it's a trick! Japes!
Hilarious.
He stops concentrating just as we get halfway across.
You can't on walk on water, that's the problem. You can't force stop concentration.
Oh, it's not. Is it not concentration spell?
Yeah, because what combat was it where Bart
The wa-
kept getting like body slammed into water? Just like fuck.
I can't remember.
Oh, wasn't that one not when we were fighting the big serpent thing?
And it was just like waves and we were running up and down the waves.
Yeah, getting buddy like funhoused by them.
Oh no, it's when we're in the temple. It was when we're in the temple. And I couldn't get it when everybody had gone under the water because I still had it cast on myself. I couldn't get under the water. We had to wait like an hour before we could actually go into the underwater chamber.
Well, you see the stone steps leading up, well, the natural steps heading up towards the Swamp Thing.
Cora just keeps storming forward.
Storming.
I mean, Norma.
Let me just
Unless anyone's going to stop her.
get you all on the map. 1 second. Oh, I'll change this back to.
Oh,
I'll change this back to proper lighting in a moment. As you ascend the steps, you would see this, which we haven't seen before.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, nice.
Shit, Stonehenge.
A new,
Well done, James.
yeah, a new James. Yeah, the standing stones.
You have to walk around, Cora. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm spider climbing here now. Spider
Oh,
climbing.
that's a good point. Yeah.
I just go straight up, man. Raise yourself up. Oh my god, what's up here? Oh,
What's Cora doing?
as is spider climbing as well. She's trying to find the way up.
I can't get up. I can't get up. It's not fair.
Took your time.
Fuck off.
Quick about.
Well, what do you think? Do you think this is going to be as rough as the last one?
I can't imagine that it's going to be easy.
Well, in that case, do you think we should rest before completing the ritual?
Imagine getting the hard part.
Really?
Last time the hard part came after.
Yeah, last time we completed the ritual, then we got sucked into the tree.
I'm saying there's going to be 2 hard parts? Jeez.
I know. Are you suggesting that we have a long rest here, Halvor? Have a sleep? Or...
I don't think we can. We're still within the first 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well then, fuck it, let's do it.
Let's do it live.
Okay. So I get out my rites and rituals most sacred again and remind myself of what I need to do. I get the feeling that I should go into the center of the circle. That seems very apt. Are you coming in, guys? Or
I'm all right over here.
you're so scared. We are here to honor the swamp fane that we know as Jenny. I take her shawl out of my bag and my cloak and lay it onto the floor. Swamp Fane, we are here to honor you. And I take out the rags with the hearts still wrapped in them and all the goo and tarry blood still dripping from them. And I lay it onto the floor at the center of the circle. And I grab my silver my silver dagger again, and I plunge it into the center of the beating heart. I honor you, Swamp Fane. I honor you, Jenny. I'm here to restore you. And then I look around in the hope something happens.
Okay. Where's everybody else?
I think where we are on the map, aren't we?
Right where I intend to be.
You all, particularly you, Cora, you feel almost like a bit of a fool for a moment. Nothing seems to be happening. But just as you're about to give up, or think to try something else, you notice a change in the light. You all look up to the sky and see the distant light of the sun obscured by layers of cloud cover as it moves much more quickly than usual. More than that, you notice it seems to be moving from west to east, backwards, wrong. Suddenly it's dawn, and then it's the dark of midnight, and then it's dusk, and then it's yesterday. As you all stand there looking up, the sun seems to soar through the sky, days passing in the blink of an eye. It's day, then night, day, night, over and over, until you can no longer distinguish the difference. The world's just flying by in this perpetual twilight, seasons changing too fast for you to feel the frosts that you see spring up around you for a moment, for more than a second at a time. Suddenly, it stops. From the sun, it seems to be midday, and Strahd stands before you in the circle. But he isn't looking at you. He doesn't even seem to notice any of you. He's holding up one hand as if in a mock wave, facing the river and the ruins to the north. Except if you're to follow his wave, you do a double take and see that it isn't ruins. In the once boggy marshes now stands a village, and the river is gone. The muddy bed lays ripped into the earth, but there's no water, none at all. You look at Strahd, and he lets out a low breath and closes his open hand into a fist. As you catch a glimpse of his face, you feel the blood leave your cheeks. You've never seen Strahd look so angry. And then you hear it. At first it sounds like a storm, or perhaps the thundering of a distant army. But no. You all look north, and up the river, roaring down the mountainside, is an unholy torrent of water. Your instincts scream at you to take cover, or to flee. Bartandalus, you look around, you can see the bigger stones, you think maybe this one can give you shelter. Halvor, Cora, you think maybe you could leap up. Bart's probably thinking of trying to fly. Ez looks panicked. But your feet just won't move. And finally, you regain your senses and make a dash, but not fast enough. The water slams into Berez. There's a moment of screams from the village, which is drowned out. The water carries on coming towards you. It's easily going to clear the ascent up to the fane where you are, and the water comes rushing forward and hits you, soaks you to the bone, knocks the air out of you, but before it washes you out of the shrine altogether, time stops and again begins to move. Are you all getting to your feet?
Yes.
Time carries on moving, seemingly this time only for 2 days, stopping in the dead of night. Strahd walks into the circle, and his face falls in horror. You follow his gaze across north to the river, into Berez, and you see the bonfire. You hear the final few screams of a woman dying. And then time moves backwards again, just 1 more day this time. It's dusk, and Strahd stands next to you with a woman, Irina. You recognise her immediately. "Come, my love," says Strahd. "Let us go, and I shall give you all you have dreamed of." Irina smiles widely, her eyes shining with an unfamiliar joy, and then her smile falters, but only a little. "My family, I know they'll never understand us, but I must say goodbye at least. Shall I meet you here tonight, yes, my love?" Strahd frowns, but bows low and kisses Irina's hand. "What are a few more hours after centuries of waiting? Of course, my love, tonight." Again, time moves backwards. The clouds overhead move so quickly it hurts your eyes to look at them. How many years are passing? Hundreds at least. Finally it slows to a stop again. Berez is nothing more than a collection of huts on the riverbank. But that's nothing compared to the scene before you now. 5 young women are lashed to the surrounding stones, each wearing hides and foliage. 4 are dead, their chests barbarically carved out, but you can tell they were tortured many days before their deaths. Strahd stands in the centre of it all. Babala Saga stood at his side. His face bears no emotion, no sympathy. The last girl, no more than 15, breathes ragged, wet breaths. Her shoulders are bent at odd angles from being lifted for so long, and tears stain her cheeks. As she cries, she whispers something. Through the words, spoken in Druidic, are familiar only to Cora, I think. The meaning flows into the rest of you like grief incarnate. "They are dead, left us. My ladies are dead." Babala Saga walks forward towards the girl and plunges a dagger into her chest. The process is long, bloody, and loud, but eventually the old witch turns with a freshly cut heart in hand. She gives it to Strahd with a manic grin and watches the Dark Lord slowly, impassively lick the severed muscle.
Oh, great.
Time moves backwards, undoing the horrible scene. This time the cycle is somehow faster than before. You're surprised for a moment when the clouds break and beam sunlight upon you for the first time in months. Berez deconstructs on the river. For a flash you see an army on a distant hill, and a shimmer of a silver dragon, its silver scales catching the sunlight, dash across the open sky, suddenly plummet down to the floor. When time finally stops again, you're surprised to see Babala Saga standing before you. She seems out of place in this bright, serene world of ages past, but she's different. Cora, you realise she's staring directly at you. She stalks towards you, Cora, and you're so taken aback that you don't react in time. Just as she's about to reach you and she stood right in front of you, an arm bursts out through her chest, clutching the old witch's rotten heart. You blink and you find that your own hand is still outstretched, meeting this new appendage in the middle. Babala Saga's form melts her away. Behind where she stood, holding her heart, is Yenny, with her green-tinged skin, her white hair now drifting up from her head as if floating underwater. Immediately noticeable is that she seems taller, no longer hunched as when you met her previously. Not necessarily younger looking, but certainly healthier, more substantial. And unmistakably, 6 smaller obsidian black eyes now dot her mottled forehead. Her lips stretch up to reveal a Cheshire grin made of multiple rows of sharpened teeth. The woman brings the heart to her grinning lips and takes a bite.
Gross.
And she's gone. The sky becomes overcast again. And you are all stood there.
You guys saw that, right?
I couldn't stop seeing it.
Yeah.
Oh, are we back in our time again now?
I look to the sky to see if I can see the beam from Argonvost.
You can.
Well done. Good thought.
When I try and step forward, do my feet do what they're told?
They do.
Well,
Is
I
that
d-
it? Is it done?
it seems that way. I knew that Strahd and Baba Lysaga did terrible things here, but I never thought I'd have to bear witness to them myself.
Yanni was terrifying.
Yeah.
You say was. It might be more of an is.
I was assuming because Laura disappeared after we restored her fame that Yanni would do the same.
Well, we were fortunate enough to see Laura with her true self, horns and all. Perhaps this is Yenny's true self, and maybe when we go back, maybe she won't be there.
Does the area look any different? Do the stones all look as they were, or does anything look like it's happier and healthier in the area that we're left with?
Not particularly. You definitely have a sense of accomplishment, but the Gulfias tree was a very, very wrong place. This is more just swampy. There's nothing so inherently evil here as what you found at the Mountain Fane.
I look to the quest tracker to see if I completed the task.
And
I guess we
indeed,
all
as
feel
you
this.
look, you all feel like a tick has been put in your soul as you are confident that you have successfully reconsecrated the Swamp Fane by enduring a very long piece of exposition.
It was super
Good.
cool.
That was amazing. That was so cool. I loved it.
I'm very glad. Thank you very much, is what I will say to Mandy Mod.
I can't tell if you were starting the music at notable points, but it seemed to line up perfectly whenever you said something new that
cool.
was spooky.
No. I just clicked play when she started, when she did the ritual. Cool, good.
So, what now? Do we go back and see whether or not Yenny's there?
Seems like heading to Vallaki makes the most sense. Rest up and start early. Heading to the forest vein.
Do you feel like you have any business, just so I can try and work out pacing-wise, do you feel like there is any business you want to tend to in Vallaki whilst you're there? Or are you thinking it's like a get back, get a night's sleep, and move on?
I'd like to check whether Yenny's there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you'd have to go past the house to get it anyway.
Yeah. Other than that, no.
Just seeing everything's the same as we left it, I think.
Okay.
I'll probably go and loot. If there's any potions lying at Anya's, I'll probably go and take all them.
Yeah, I mean, if Yenny's not there anymore, we might as well get whatever's
Yeah.
in their place too.
Yeah. If you've got some inventory ready, DM, get ready to fill us up.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
a shame that
So satisfying. Half a session, we've ticked off so many things. Yes.
it's such a shame that Ornis isn't one of the
One of the fame.
one of the Sister Suka go and loot him.
Okay. So we're travelling back to Vallaki.
Mhm.
I'm not. Given that we've done I'm not going to make us go through the unless there's any conversations you feel like you want to be having on the way. I'm not going to make you go through the Berez and Svalich Road again. So is there anything that anybody would be bringing up during this period of travel?
I mean, I think after observing that, we
Yeah.
were just talking about what we saw and trying to make sense of it all.
What do you think happens when we restore the final Fane?
I wonder whether or not it restores time to a point before Strahd became immortal so that we can kill him.
I'm imagining the mists not lifting, but maybe daytime being normal, you know?
Hopefully it'll diminish his power somewhat. Maybe weaken his grasp, his connection to Vampire.
How do you feel, Cora?
I do a quick check and see whether I feel like I did before.
You feel just how you did earlier.
As we approach completing the task you were given, are you nervous? Excited?
Determined.
Halvon nods understandingly.
The more I do, the more I know how right it is.
Even staring into Yenny's face like that?
She was terrifying, but she was also great.
Let me show you, if I can find it, what a lot of people... Oh, I've got to find the link. A lot of people use this art for Yenny. Have any of you ever watched the Netflix series Love, Death and Robots?
Mm-hmm.
Parts of it.
A lot of people put the representation of the Weaver as Thusly. But I felt that was a little too far for a character
no.
you're meant to
Oh,
feel
God.
sympathetic about. The title of the Reddit post for that was almost had me ready to fap him the first half.
I mean, I could still do it.
That's a challenging wank.
That's some Witcher level horror, that.
Yeah. So, returning to Vallaki then. A period of travel later. It is now, I'm trying to think what time of day it would be. You arrived at Argynvost first thing. You hung around there for an hour, travelled to Berez. We'd be getting to evening by now. This is going to have taken a full day. Your assembled travels. As you are approaching Vallaki, you see that where Yenny's natural sort of vine-wrought hoof was previously, there is now just, it looks like an untended sort of garden. There's just a thick knot and carpet of overgrown plant life. You can see even from here, there is absolutely no building or hut underneath. You see that the ground has been sort of not fallowed, but you know, clearly boars have been rooting around in the soil around it, or maybe just a single one. But Yenny's hut is no longer here.
Nothing to loot. Damn.
Seems like we erased them from existence or returned them to a point where they weren't ever trapped in this form.
We put them back where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. No doubt if we went to speak to Madame Eva now, she'd have no idea who we're talking about. Although, she is the seer. Did seem like she had more of an idea.
Well, if anyone would, it would be her.
So, what business do you have? Let me just bring us a bit closer to evening. I feel so sad that I don't have the fancy Vallaki map anymore. It's my first big thing I was proud of. My little torchlights coming on, little smoke from the chimneys. Yeah, what do we want to tend to in Vallaki tonight?
I'm gonna go and see if there's anything of use at Anya's.
I feel like after his experience there last time, I would go with him. I wouldn't want him to go alone.
Whatever do you mean?
You told us when he came round, when he snapped
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. But I mean, what could have happened there last time? Okay. Do you permit it, Bartonellus?
Of course, yeah.
What about Halvor? Are you wanting to go, or do you have your own business?
I probably will go with them.
Okay. Oh, I just heard a bubbling fart and realised that Berez ambience is still playing in the background. Let me just get rid of that, and that, and that. So yeah, you find yourself outside the locked Third Eye Potion and Sundries.
I had the key, right? I
Yes.
took the key and locked it. Okay. Then I will unlock it. Take a breath and step inside. And I just kind of stop in the doorway for a minute, like looking down at where she was killed.
And you would all see that, yeah, the flower bed is very disturbed and there's some soil on the floor where Bartandalus, you know that you buried your lover whilst under the charm of Strahd.
I'm gonna dig away the soil a little bit until I can reveal her face.
You don't find her.
She's turned into a corpse flower! No! I dig a bit deeper. Suddenly, like, what the?
Your fingertips very quickly hit the plank bottom of the flower box, and yeah, you just grope around, and it's very quickly apparent that her body is not in here.
Looking at the floor, is there like evidence that somebody's carried her out? Like there'd be like a trail of soil that's fallen off her and stuff?
I don't really get what you're saying there. Sorry, are you looking around and saying that you want to investigate the scene?
That is exactly what I'd like to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps I should roll an investigation check.
Make me an athletics check. Oh yeah. Or an investigation check, I guess. $15. You notice very, very light bits of soil clinging to parts of the rug. Difficult to say if it's come from over here. You know, obviously you're looking around the place. There's so many plant pots and like trellises that, you know, plants and soil have clearly been used a lot here. But whereas looking at the rest, you can see there are patches of soil that are all like trodden into the carpet and sort of clinging at the edges where clearly when the room's been brushed, just bits have hit this runner and clung over time. You do see there's enough of a loose scattering of fine soil around here that, you know, just in this general area, that something has happened around here, unless Bartandalus was really messy when he buried her. You also notice there's a broom lying on the floor over here, and at the tips of the bristles you see there is equally fresh soil, like someone has tried to brush up a little bit in here recently. Thank you, Shapeaku. So you could ascertain from that perhaps soil has been spilled fairly recently, Cora, and then someone has made a pretty shoddy attempt to cover it up.
So it looks like someone's moved her, but if it was Strahd, why would he try and hide it?
I don't know.
Do you think someone might have taken her to the church?
Why?
For a proper burial?
won't be as simple as that. I wouldn't think. The door was locked. Unless the guards know that she's dead. But that's pretty quick, right? We only left this morning. It only happened first thing. Someone's discovered she was missing, come and got her. Tried to tie it up after themselves and then locked the door. Seems a little bit too easy that something simple as that.
So do you think that Strahd took her for some reason?
It wouldn't surprise me either. Although if I'm honest, I can't see Strahd being the kind of person that sweeps up.
I can't see him being the sort that would need to make a mess.
Yeah.
You do think she was dead, right?
I don't
Couldn't
know.
have buried her alive.
Could have buried her unconscious for all I know. I think she was dead. I'm pretty sure. Actually, did I check? Did I check to see if she was dead?
I mean, her head.
Yeah, she was like
Yeah.
pummeled in, wasn't she? It was like,
Yeah, he like
Snapped
dashed
her
her.
neck, didn't
He dashed her on the
Yeah.
floor. He ragdolled her pretty hard.
she wasn't breathing. Not that much.
So, what do you want to do from here?
This doesn't change anything. And I kind of bat some of the dirt off my hands and hold out outstretch my fingers. Idiot Thanos. And cast Prestidigitation to clean the dirt off my hands. Have a look around if there's anything we can use. I'm not gonna let Strahd get in my head. I'm not gonna let him play his games. The closer we get to the people in Barovia, the easier it is for Strahd to use us. It was my mistake getting as close to Anya as I did. Cost her a laugh. Whatever that means in this place. And I'll have a look over stuff that she might have been working on that might be partially completed or anything.
Make me an investigation check just to summarize your
Sure.
looting of the store.
We shall also be helping.
Yeah.
I shall roll it with advantage.
I turn to Cora whilst Bartandless is searching, and I just say to her, "Do you think there's any hope for Vonya?"
Who knows? I feel that if Strahd had wanted her dead, then he would have done it in front of you like he did here.
I think if there was anyone else that we were close to in Barovia, they would have fallen victim as well.
But what's he got to benefit from not allowing you to witness that and seeing the suffering like he has with Bartandless?
Worse fate to see somebody trapped than it is to see him die. Knowing that she's stuck with him, a prisoner. I'd take Anya's death over that anytime. I'm saying it as I'm idly looking around.
Yeah. What did you roll? A 15? Not your
Yeah, I
best.
rolled two twos and an advantage.
Jesus.
I mean, it's still pretty good though.
Yeah. You find, just of use around the store, 2 vials of acid, 3 vials of basic poison. Do you have any use for candles?
No.
There are 20 candles, a component pouch, a healer's kit, 1 potion of healing, a cuddly toy, alchemist supplies, a poisoner's kit, an assortment of different glass bottles and vials, and 2 vials of alchemist, 2 flasks of alchemist fire.
Did I ever make anything with my demon ichor? I can't remember.
You were talking to her about a specific poison it could make, but then you never came of
I
it.
left it with her. I literally left it with her for like about a year.
Gosh, you got killed.
Fucking, it's because you couldn't be asked make anything with it.
Pretty
Knob.
much.
Yeah. He made these
Of all
vials of
the-
poison.
Of all the of all the uses for like demon ichor that's listed in the things that now the party may choose to do this, or this. It's never like the party might decide what can we cook with this. Fuck.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I didn't give you much notice. You know, you only had a year to make something up. Crafts an entire
let's
campaign.
be honest.
Can't
it's
make
probably
some
2
fucking...
years because you got back when you killed Morgantha.
Yeah.
And I feel like Morgantha was like session 30.
Hey, look at this unlabeled poison that looks like the demon ichor. I bet by this time next week I'll probably be able to have identified what it is. And I pick up this vial and put it in my bag.
It's in a jar now. It's actually Barovia's most evil, like mother dough. it's like a sourdough starter.
Ah, dear. Poor.
What of those items I just listed would you be taking?
The obvious ones, the potions and the healer's kit.
Okay, get your bag ready. So acid vials?
Yeah.
Alchemist fire.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, of course. Basic poisons.
Cuddy
Yep.
toy.
Yeah.
20 candles.
No.
Components pouch. Another one.
No.
Healer's kit.
Yeah.
Potion of healing.
Yeah.
Alchemist supplies.
No.
Poisonous kit.
No. I'm presuming none of us are.
All the yeah, I mean this isn't just bar. Anyone can chip anything on this. Any of the glass bottle shit. We've got flasks, glass bottles, and vials.
No point in collecting samples. You can't do anything with them, apparently.
Yeah, 2 flasks of alchemist fire.
I don't need them. I've already got 4.
I'll have some.
1 second. Let me just open Cora via the diaphragm.
Cora's
Alchemist
already
fire
got a
and
heart full
Cora.
of alchemist fire.
A single, I don't know why it's 1. In this entire store, a single piece of chalk. I think it's the same piece of chalk she used to like write on the sandwich board outside.
Do we need chalk for something? I'm sure we do. I'll have some chalk.
You can have some chalk, okay. And a single flask of oil.
I mean, she got a recipe book where we can try and craft some stuff.
Oh, do you know what? It was all in her head.
Convenient, that. All these books around. Just pictures, aren't they? Just colouring in books.
They're all just love letters written to Pow.
Dear diary, I love Bartandless. He's
Yeah.
so dreamy.
I don't think he'd ever do anything to hurt me.
or
Definitely.
aid and abet anyone in her.
Definitely wouldn't bury me.
So yeah, you loot your stuff.
Okay. In terms of stuff I wish to do, hover around Lady Vactor's and try and extract the name on Lady Vactor and Mephisto if I see him around.
They would not be coming. They would not come out of the house. Are you going to see them, or are you just kind of loitering in the hopes that?
Well, I think it's probably a conversation to have with these guys. What's the situation with Lady Vactor? Do we think she's more likely an ally or an enemy?
I'm not sure she's either, really.
Surely she would see some benefit in aiding us. Strahd has sent his people in to simply just kidnap citizens of Vallaki if she's supposed to be their caretaker.
But hasn't she also had some benefit from Strahd?
Once upon a time as a young girl.
I think she's probably also afraid of him. Who wouldn't be?
Might be worth asking. Did I ever get a look at her book? Weren't they gonna give me the book or something at one point?
Which book?
I'm sure she had like a spell book or something, and she was like, not yet, but come and see me later. Like we'd made a deal with her to try and.
Frankly, I don't remember, but it would have been like.
Oh, I think it was
level
prior
2,
to
3 spells at the time.
Oh, well,
let me have a look. I don't think I was using. I don't think I was using NPC and
saying level 2,
back
3
then.
spells
Let's
like I've
have a
got
look.
loads of spells.
Yeah, I would need to look that up for you. That was
Don't worry about it.
very long time ago.
Don't worry about it. I had modern Kynans. It's fine. I got everything from that I could before he turned up and stole it.
Stole it. Stole his property back, the bastard.
Yeah. I mean, she helped us with Morgantha. Who knows? Might be worth a conversation. Maybe she'll have something that's going to help us. What's
Who is this?
Cora? Lady Vactor.
Okay, yeah. What do you think, Halvor, Cora?
Oh, I'm torn, to be honest. I don't know whether or not it's just. I think it's probably going to backfire.
Strahd knows we're coming for him. He knows the things we're doing. I don't fear Lady Vactor. I'm pretty sure her spellbook only has level 1 and 3 spells in it, so she's not that big a threat.
Maybe she's learned some more while we've been away.
Oh, yeah.
Just learning them by the fucking second now.
Is it not just alerting another potential ally of Strahd's to our mission?
I don't think there's a thing we've done since we got here that he doesn't know about.
I think that she probably knows a lot of what's been going on. I mean, everyone will certainly have seen the beacon from Argynvostholt. Do you think that they're not going to know we've been involved? I think everybody knows that we've got our hands in a lot of pies.
Maybe it's best to use that as leverage. If there is even a glimmer of them wanting to get rid of Strahd, then they must see that we're probably the best hope they've got.
Sorry, something that just entirely slipped me by is everyone will be talking about the beam of light in the sky, and you would see that although some people seem wary and worried about what it sort of portends, it's hard for them to conceal that they all seem quite exhilarated by it, and there's a real sort of like animation and a bit of an energy to them that you haven't seen before. You could reach a conclusion that everyone seems to be benefiting from the same boon that you're feeling.
Ooh.
There is an uplifting in spirit at the sight of this beacon.
It's gotta show that we've only been trying to do the best for this place since we got here. And everything we've done has been going against Strahd. So surely that leads to the conclusion that going against him is the best for everybody. Maybe she'll see that.
Only one way to find out.
Cora, you in?
If you guys are going, I'm with you.
Then we all put our hand in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Team!
Go team!
We never came up with a name, which really pissed the DM off.
Oh.
Team Mansion. Team Baron's house.
Yeah, a 3-year campaign and you never settled on a group name. Madness to me. Absolute madness. Now, let me tell you.
The Lightbringer's done it.
Vactor House
He's no longer there.
no
Fuck!
longer has a map because when I came to frantically trying to fix the bloated Foundry world the other day, Vactor House, strangely, was the largest map of all in file size, so it was the first to go.
You have no idea what you're doing, do you?
No, none whatsoever.
I fear what my Foundry packs look like.
Let me just...
Well, if you ever need to hire someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you're
You've got
travelling to
someone in mind?
Vactor House, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Imagine this with a bit of a Addams Family style wrought iron fence around it. I watched Addams Family last night while I was doing some mapping. What a
Wow.
wonderful film.
Family Values, number 2.
So did I, but it's not on Netflix. So it was the first one, only the first one's on Netflix. I may find the other one on Amazon Prime tonight. But yes, you stand before Vactor House. Who is going to the door?
All 3 of us, I would imagine.
At exactly the same time.
Yep. And we all raise our hand as one. We are one. We are the Lightbringers.
A few moments later, the door cracks open.
As we're walking through the town, I'm like, wow, I wonder who the Lightbringers were. And I start just feeding that name out there for people to start. Who were the Lightbringers? So that when they attach us, we've now got a name.
Nice. I like it. Did I click show off on this? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ernst popped
So your
up, yeah.
boy Ernst appears at the doorway, gives you all a bit of an up and down, and then seems to be a bit taken aback that you have come knocking to Vactor House. It has been some time, has it not? How fare you?
Well, thank you. And we apologize for yet again not announcing our arrival, but you know how it is.
Indeed. In fact, I have come quite to expect it now. Were you to attempt to make an appointment with the Baroness, I would believe you had been compromised.
Well, no harm in that then. How are you feeling? And I look up towards, I don't know if I can see the light from this vantage point.
Looking back over your shoulder, you could easily see it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure where we are in terms of the building, whether it be blocking the light.
It's directly opposite this building is the orphanage, which is a 2-story building. But I mean, the beam goes up until it hits the clouds. You are definitely. You could be in the fucking well in the village of Barovia and probably still see it in the sky.
I'm presuming you're feeling a little bit more optimistic. What with recent events, and I look toward the light.
Indeed. Most extraordinary. Well, it does seem to have my lady feeling at somewhat of an ill disposition.
Indeed. In what way?
She seems to have taken with a mild affliction of sorts.
Just
I'm
since
sure she will
the
still-
light in the sky?
Oh, in the last day or so. I'm sure that she will still take your appointment.
Imagine that she'll be happy to see us.
Indeed. You wait in the drawing room, the usual arrangement, whilst I go and announce you. And though I don't have the map, he will show you into. Remember, there's like the large like dining room lounge with the fireplace. That, if you remember, you know that Majesto has spied on you previously from within. And in fact, you know that the fireplace has a listening hole to the other side, because it was the room on the other side that you used as like the mission briefing room for the assault on the Bone Grinder.
Well, as we are in the area, I will bump out Angelo near the fireplace, who can see invisible creatures, if indeed that little shit is hiding there.
Whoa! 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 Get that thing away from me!
Why don't you come out?
Okay.
And you just sort of, you see Majesto sort of like awkwardly step around, like he's trying to avoid standing in nettles, sort of stepping around Angelo. He's definitely putting a bit of like dramatics on for it before he flutters up onto the fireplace, onto the mantle itself, and looks around and says,
What the hell is that?
What's he looking at when he says that?
He's looking at Angelo.
Angelo.
And Angelo come back and just drop on my shoulder. A little gift. And as I'm looking at
Sweet
Mephisto,
Nephiril's nevers.
can he roll me a DC 17 wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, depending on whether he has
it will just be
normal.
standard.
17.
Okay, you'll get a name. I need to. So you get the true name for the purposes of onomancy. I need to look into the larger implication. Because obviously they do some very, very OP things for demons that I don't want to just hand wave setting a precedence for. So I will look into what is established about the bigger implication. I don't have a full name for this guy. I'll get a full name to you quicker than I did for Rahadin, and I will look into the larger. But in case you're casting any spells and stuff, yes, you have the name. I will call him Majesto's surname, so I can. Majesto's full name, so I can remind myself.
And I will add extra.
Oh yeah, tick one off.
He is now on the list, and as soon as I get a chance, he will be in the book.
Okay.
The good book.
The good book of.
That's got to be a valuable name right there.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Oh yes.
Where have you been?
And I pause, dying to say his true name, Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Mephisto. What is it?
Majesto.
Majesto.
Oh, you know, just the same. A little bit of loitering, a little bit of flittering around, a lot of eavesdropping. The good life.
You learned anything interesting?
Oh, every day. I know interesting things all the time. I make it my business to snoop and to barter information. Well, bartering of a sort. Is it bartering? I don't know if it's bartering. Is it bartering if they don't know you're there? And you use what you learn to get things you want from them later. That is not bartering, is it?
It's blackmailing.
Hey, yeah, blackmailing, extortion, information, establishing a healthy information gathering network.
Sounds interesting. What's the most interesting thing you've learned?
I learn a lot of interesting things. A swamp witch has gone. She knocked her house down.
Saw her do it or just disappear?
She's disappeared and everybody else forgets about her now. This is magic.
Yeah. But not you.
What
What about Lady Vacta?
about her?
Does she remember about Yenny?
No, nobody. Only me and only thee.
Did you see the other woman that was staying with her for a time?
The horny one.
That's one way of putting it.
I did, and she's gone much the same way. There is something around. Killing them off, I think. Makes everybody forget. I have seen such a creature before, a very long time ago, before I came here. A reverse Hydra, I believe, called. When it takes you, everybody forgets you even existed.
Never heard of such a thing.
Well, you are, small-minded and short-lived. This is not anything to be ashamed of. Majesto has lived for thousands of years.
So you've seen a thing or two, heard a thing or two. No. You ever heard of Tenebrous?
Tenebrous.
This is where we're gonna have to segue. Well, we're gonna have to meta here because Tenebrous, for some reason, yes, is a dark power.
Yes.
But Tenebrous is
yeah,
also a
forgot.
lieutenant of Orcus, so
That is true.
he would know of that Tenebrous. So we're gonna pretend
Yeah.
that the Orcus one is a different name. So he's like,
No, never heard of it. Why would Wizards of the Coast do this? I have never heard of his name.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And what of you? Broke some information to me. Where have you been since I last saw you? All of you. I believe you are wrapped up. Ready to head up into the great big cold beyond. With a larger number than you return with. Where did the child go? Did you have to eat him?
Sadly, no.
Well, But yes, what have you been doing?
Well, we've been all over. Like you say, we ascended up the mountain paths, came back, and we've, had business to attend to.
That is you must have, before you came to this place, you must have worked as some sort of minstrel, yes, or a town crier, perhaps a novelist. The way you expanded on that story and gave such rich detail. Truly marvelous.
I thank you. I'm something of a charmer, they say.
I am being deeply sarcastic, my friend.
I
It
get
was a
that, but
terrible
also,
story.
I don't trust you, so...
you, and like he staggers back a bit and clutches at his breast.
I am... wounded. Wounded mortally. These words... I have done nothing but treat with you openly and honestly as Majesto.
You hide
You
all the
discre-
time.
I am small, and I take advantage of my smallness. You come into my house. You stand around next to the lovely home I have made in this resplendent hearth, and you talk loudly, often about things that do not concern you. I am simply a concerned resident.
I looked at Halvor. And,
Shame on
I
you
look-
all.
I looked at him best. I mean, I like you.
I have not yet formed an opinion on you, but you helped me out some time ago.
You. Because I'm kind of aware from back in the day, but now that we've seen Cora summoning so many things, do you think it would be possible with my now enhanced intelligence to make a similar conclusion that Mephisto can't leave?
You have
Majesto.
outright had a conversation with
Have
him.
we
in which
talked-
he
have we
told
talked
you.
about
yeah,
that?
Yeah. When he came with you in the street to try and track down Miliov. Yeah, you had a conversation in which he outright said, I can't go home, I'm stuck here. But if I die here, I have a terrible fate.
Right.
So yeah, you and he have spoken that he is trapped in Barovia.
You think your good lady would be opposed to us killing Strahd?
Or just walk into my house and say, yes, I wish to kill the once former patron of your mistress. You know that he gave me to her, yes? He summoned me into this realm.
Yeah, and trapped you in it as well.
He points at you. Exactly. I think she would have complex feelings about the matter. And he sort of like leans towards like the stairway where you know that she is likely to descend from when she comes. He is the liege of this realm. He could come in and kill her at a moment's notice if he wanted to. He could come in and raise this city to the ground in a moment if he wanted to, but he's never wanted to, so he never has. But, well, he hasn't exactly put a lot of effort into maintaining a healthy infrastructure, has he? He doesn't get too involved in the day-to-day, unless you've got the right colour, hair and eyes, if you know what I mean. But I'd be quite happy if you killed him personally, but don't say that on, obviously.
Of course.
I think killing him, I presume that killing him will allow you to leave, or maybe allow me to leave. I can get back home and see what's what. I've been here a very long time now.
I'm presuming you've forgot, DM, and not that Majesto has not said anything about my dripping eyes.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about them.
Me too.
Just put liquid eyeliner on whenever we play. And
I
then
do anyway.
you forget.
I've got my webcam on.
What's with your face?
Just stuff that happened at the top of the mountain.
That's a dabbling. That's a pact. That's a price, isn't it? A price to be paid. You met a demon up there, yes?
Something like that, I imagine. Yeah.
Something like that. And you made a deal with a demon.
Pretty much the same kind of thing, though, right?
Oh, they're devils, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's probably about as offensive as you. And
Yeah.
actually, I don't know if I know much about the Blood War.
No,
But
I don't imagine you do. Eddie,
that's
you-
probably a massive racist thing that I just said to him. You're all the same. You're all the same, aren't you?
I cancel you. You're looking a bit like me.
He sort of gestures over to Cora, runs his fingers up his forehead.
I see you copied my horns.
Believe me, you shouldn't be thinking that I've copied you in any way.
Why so unkind?
You and I just don't seem very alike, that's all.
Very alike. We're both rather smaller. We're both redheads. We both have horns. We both have some sort of venomous sting, it would seem.
That is true.
I think we have great kinship, you and I, but... so anyway, you want to kill Strahd?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's what's happened. Slowly but surely. We're working on it.
Well, good luck.
Wanted to see if we could petition your good lady for any help.
I don't know how that will go. I think best case scenario, she doesn't have you killed. Worst case scenario,
He like juts his tail around a few times.
Keep that thing where I can see it, or I'll cut it off.
Goes invisible.
I send Angelo.
But
right
wait,
next
he's
to her.
not gone anywhere. Yeah, he flutters over next to him.
Yeah.
So the three of you just hear like a
go away, go away.
and then like Angelo a couple of times I imagine to sort
She's
of like
harassing him.
moves a few steps over.
Go away, get out of here.
A moment later you just see like a shuffle of the coals and the fire, and it would seem that he's forced his way through whatever hidey hole he's got into the next room.
I mean, imagine Angelo could follow him, but I'll will him to come back.
And you hear a door upstairs, suggesting that Lady Vacta is on her way down and will be on her way down the stairs in a couple of moments. I can't remember if I still have her le motif. I do not. So she will get someone else's music to give me a copyright strike. Oh, the old title screen music, isn't it? But yes, Lady Vacta comes down the stairs. She looks ever so slightly sort of peaky, but doesn't seem, she's still keeps all her graces and her composure about her as she comes down the stairs. You once again attend rather lately upon my house at a late hour. I trust you are all well.
We are. Apologies for the intrusion. We figured that you are generally at your busiest through the day, as are we. Seems like the evening might be the only time that we could call upon you.
It's rational enough. There are many issues to deal with during the day. What issue do you bring to me this evening? You are responsible for the conflagration in the sky, I take it?
Among other things, yeah. Argynvost hold. And I will make Angelo reappear.
She does not flinch, but sort of looks him over. I think she's possibly seen him before. Here.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think we got him. I don't really feel like we've been back here since we killed off the hags, have we?
Yes. To talk to her about Valenta and the tax. Quite a lengthy chat with her then, I think.
Yeah, she didn't give a shit. It was a tax worth paying.
You know that we've been acting against Strahd.
Indeed, you've made your intentions clear from the first. Did you find what you were seeking up the mountain?
For the most part. Found more than we bargained for as well.
But it does have a tendency to be the case here, does it not?
It does. It is a hard bargain that we bring to you today at this late hour.
And shall we be seated? And she gestures over to the couches where she's kind of held a small court with you a couple of times previously.
And move towards them as she rolls me a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, unless she has advantage.
I don't think there is an unless for her. Let me just check. Oh. No unless. Sorry.
No?
Can you still not see them again? Everything's set to public. She's rolled a 19. She rolled a 16 and she has a +3. I have no idea why it's not showing.
Did she roll it with disadvantage?
Oh, she did not. Let me do it again, of course.
Unless? No unless.
No unless, and then just rolled it regular. The second one is... second one's a 9.
Nice.
Yeah, you have her name. And I didn't think you were coming back here, so I can quickly...
I didn't think I was coming back here
No,
either.
I can sort a name for her out in the next few minutes. Majesto's a bit of a bigger deal, but I will come up with a subtitle for her in the next few minutes. Yes, but you have her true name. Not that she knows it.
Strahd von Zarovich.
Her true name is Lady Fiona Vactor, Muriel Martikov from the future. Yeah, so you sit.
We are making plans to move on Strahd.
She stiffens
know.
slightly. So I see.
It was always going to come to this, one way or the other. The things he has done to people all across Barovia before we came and during. That he has preyed upon the people here for as long as he has. That he comes in and steals people away on a whim. He poses it as you having your freedoms and that he doesn't interfere, but you're all his prisoners. All of you. You are not the ruler of the Vallaki. You do not protect the people here. You're all just waiting to see whether Strahd wishes to kill you or not. His people came in and took Father Petrovich straight from the church for no other reason than to try and prove a point when we were coming back down from the Selenka Pass. They kidnapped him and killed him. They did the same with Anya Travali.
Anya Travali is dead?
Yeah.
When? I saw her only yesterday.
Happened this morning.
By whose hand? What is she?
Not sure now. It was by Strahd. He came when I was there. He killed her. Her body is now no longer where it was.
You see, she doesn't entirely believe you. She's trying to see if there's some sort of lie or trick to your words. You can see she sort of hardly like turns away, but you can tell she's trying to mull the word in over.
I'm presuming that's clear on her face that she's not buying what I'm selling.
Oh yeah. With your passive insight, so I'm just giving it to you.
He acts against you. He acts against you all. Slowly. Subtly. The people are trapped. And they turn to you to help them. He blocked out the sun to try and prove a point to us to how powerful he was. And in doing so, he was willing to let your people starve. It was by our hand that we stopped that from happening. It was by our hand that we brought the sun back into the sky so that you could grow your food and that your people didn't have to turn on each other. He would have let it happen. He would have let you turn on each other and kill each other, and he would not have cared.
And she sort of... Her face remains steely, but her voice drops to... You couldn't even really call it a whisper. It's more of just like a
One moment.
Oh, okay.
As I see that she's kind of like leaning in to whisper. Just let me double check something quick.
Fireball.
I will put a hand to my holy symbol of Ravenkind and use 2 charges of it to use mental barrier to expend my non-detection spell to a 15-foot radius, so that it has everybody in the room. So whatever she's going to say will hopefully be, well, for the remainder of however long it lasts, it will be between us. I don't
Seeing
know.
you sort of do this and reach to your symbol, she's like, I do not intend to lie. Your tricks are not necessary. Your safeguards.
No tricks. Nothing like that. This is so that we might be able to speak more openly in the event that there are eyes beyond here that are watching and ears that are listening.
And she nods and just... When I was a girl, a party of people of aspiration such as yourselves stormed the castle and slew Strahd von Zarovich. As you can see, it did not take. He cannot be killed. He cannot be destroyed. If you were to do all of this, and if you were to succeed, he would return with a terrible vengeance. Surely better to keep the people alive. How do you know that what you do will be different? And she sits very back with a very much oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Since you were a girl, or the stories that have you heard before, have you ever seen a light in the sky like that one? Have you ever felt the hope and restoration fill the people like that one has?
I'm not sure if that is enough to undo centuries of this rule. Do you even have the means?
We have allies far stronger than us. You've heard of the wizard that came once, the one that almost killed Strahd, I'm sure. We've heard the story.
Mm-hmm.
We also have this, and I will pull out the hilt and activate the Sunblade.
Oh, let me roll some damage.
Oh,
She just turns
Right.
into vapor.
Radiant damage on a vampire. But no. She just sort of shields her eyes for a moment. What is it?
it's a blade made of pure sunlight, perfect for slaying a vampire. I believe it belonged to Sergei von Zarovich. Once upon a time.
She doesn't show any recollection of that name, but you can see that once she's sort of shielded her eyes from the initial shock, she just seems to be just stunned by the sunlight from the sword.
Things that we have gathered, the allies we have brought to our side, and the things that we have done in the time that we have been here. These are things that nobody has done before us. We headed into the swamp of Berez and killed Babala Saga. We killed the hags at the windmill. We have killed those that follow Strahd, Rahadin, who came into your town and took Father Petrovich.
She's Castellan.
Mm.
Dead? By whose
Not-
hand? She'll look between the three of you.
Part by ours, and then disintegrated by Ludmilla. The things that we have done have posed a threat to Strahd. And I touch my holy symbol. This can bring pure sunlight, such as that sword. These are the tools that we will fight him with. Tools that people have not had before. your motley group of adventurers that came all those years ago, they did well enough. They did not have what we have. This is the time. This one now. And you're either going to lead your people through it and help us, or you sit back and just wait for them to die slower than you're letting them.
Is Cora lending anything to this? Or contributing anything to this?
She's not really very happy that they've gone in the first place.
Okay.
So probably not, to be honest.
Okay. Make me, Bartandalis, a persuasion check assisted by Halvor. DC 14. Based on that.
I'm rolling advantage, yeah?
Yeah, I'm weighing Halvor's contributed quite a few things into the conversation. You've mentioned a fair few things. These tools are all well and good, but I cannot see how any sort of victory is assured. A sword can be wrenched from a hand, a pendant from a neck, and then your advantage is lost. And he will just rain vengeance down on any settlement that overtly support it.
And I stand up from my chair. You're the only one left. He's almost eradicated Barovia through the years of violence that he's sent. Kresk is no more. Something from the mists that he has created have cursed it. Something devoured every civilian that lived there. There is no light left in Barovia. The abbot of Kresk, Father Petrovich of Vilaki, and Father Donovich of Barovia are all gone. The Morning Lord does not look upon this place anymore. The people have forgotten him and they do not give him worship. You are now more in the dark than you have ever been. And you are hiding in it. We offer the light to help guide you through, but you're too scared.
You know of the Fanes, Lady Vactor. You know of the Ladies Three. Their contribution, it will help us. It's the way of the light. You must realize that.
And she looks a bit unnerved, and she stands up and sort of flattens down her garments, and she's like, there is too much to risk. I cannot jeopardize my people. I will I will not contribute troops to this, but I also, there is weight to what you say, and so I give you my word that I will not hinder your efforts.
And I'm already stuttering, I'll say.
It is a shame. There was another that was scared of Strahd, that did everything that they thought they had to appease him constantly.
I am not he.
Doesn't look like that different from where I am. You still let your people be hurt by him. You might not do it directly yourself, but you don't stop it.
I thank you for your visit.
I just give her a nod, and I will turn curtly
And I look to Ernst. We'll see ourselves out.
It's never too late, Lady Vactor, if you change your mind. And I turn and follow.
Okay.
I'll have Angelo kind of flirting around me to make sure Mephisto isn't hiding.
Okay, yeah. So you head away from Vactor House. Where to next?
I take out my book. I put in Lady Vactor's true name.
And Majestos.
Majestos, whatever that one is. And as I do, in my head I go, I'm sure you'll find that one particularly interesting.
There is not a response because the mod needs updating, but there is a satisfied hum for a moment. A noise of some noise of affirmation.
Oh. And yeah, never mind.
Okay. Where to next, gang?
To the
Bed,
bachelor
right?
pad.
To
Hey,
Bachelor Pad.
Bachelor pad.
You return to Lightbringer House, to your maison. Is there anything that anybody wishes to attend to whilst you're there, or is it just get back home, have some grub, get to bed?
I think so.
As we're walking down the street, as we're reaching the house, just the last person I see, Velaki citizen, I'm gonna get their name.
Okay.
Just 'cause you
What,
can.
just some mook?
Just some mook.
Just
Yeah.
make me
We're not-
roll me a d20 plus whatever your thing. I know it's a DC, it's a save, isn't it? Let's have a look. Let's roll a d20 with a.
I thought it was saying I'm normal mooks. I was just getting their names now. 'cause I have
Oh
to roll
yeah,
them.
yeah. Okay, you get a mook's name.
Mook name.
Mookson.
Just trying to appease my boy.
Alexander Moochin is his name.
Nice. That's a good name. Muchevich.
Yeah, Mookchevich.
And it's Alec with an S. Alexander
Yeah.
Muchovich. Got him. Oof, I think I've leveled up by that name. He's Alex. Can you imagine if just some random mook? Alexander Muchovich, Lord of the Undead, the damned soul. It's like, oh my god, what did I get? Where's he gone? Okay.
So home, dinner, bed.
Home, dinner, bed.
Any nighttime activities anybody wishes to undertake?
Oh fuck. Have I got? Oh shit balls. Okay. I will say to the group, we need to sleep in proximity and take watch. We might feel
In case
like
someone tries to steal your eye again.
And I pointed Halvor. Exactly.
I'd rather forgotten about that.
It's literally this morning.
Lots happened. Been a busy day.
I don't mind taking first watch if you like.
I give Cora a nod.
Shall we go? We'll sleep in the library. It's all walls and bookshelves except the door, and we
Yeah.
can lock the door and arm it and stuff.
Oh, there's beds. Come on.
Pull the
No.
mattresses. We'll pull the mattresses into the library.
Ooh, have a little
The two of you
sleepover.
can share a bed. Come on. Big boys.
I'll literally lie on top of him. He's swole.
Keep your
I'm
hands
the
to
mattress.
yourself.
But yeah, well, you can alarm the one doorway, and there'll be no windows.
Well, that didn't work last time. They just or did it? Or did I just position it wrong? I can't remember.
We never really worked it out. I don't think we
Mm.
could.
Either way, one entrance is a better idea, I think.
Yeah, I still think it's a good idea for one of us to keep watch and just
Yeah.
in case we can hear anything.
Okay. Then we'll do that when we get to the library. I'll set up an alarm spell outside the door. We'll pull some mattresses into the library and
Okay.
spend the evening taking watch.
Okay. The evening passes uneventfully, and you can all apply a long rest.
I love playing a long rest.
A what?
Oh.
I love applying a long rest. Ooh, recovered 6 hit dice, yeah.
And when we wake. So, what's the plan here? We head to the Fane. Hopefully it's easier. As easy as the last one. A little less graphic would be preferable.
I mean, I hope it was more like the Mountain Fane than... No, I hope it's more like the Swamp Fane than the Mountain Fane.
Yeah.
And besides which, it may have been graphic, but it's useful to get an insight, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
The more we know, the easier it'll be to slay him.
Yeah.
Remind me, what happened at the Forest Fane?
Well, according to my book,
Killed a
The,
bunch of
fall,
ravens,
the
right?
fall of the Thanes.
I think he killed ravens for like 100 days or something. Or every day for a year.
yeah, he knew that ravens were particularly important and sacred animals to the natives of the valley. He found a hag coven, bade them to bake ravens into pies and feed them only to the masses of Barovia. He personally caught the ravens, presented them to the shrine of the forest fane, and snapped the birds' necks before bringing their carcasses to the hags. He did this for a year. At the end of the year, he gained the power of the forest fane. As thanks for their service, he granted the land surrounding the forest fane to the hags.
Is there anything else we need to do or recover before we... This is mostly about the seer and future and prophecies, right?
Yeah, so there was something that if it was to do with yeah, there you go.
Rhine
Whether the despoiled site was to honor a deity associated with reflection, portents, or prophecy, loudly state your intent or willingness to look within. And that's why last time we were here, I
Mirror.
put a mirror in my bag.
And I look to Esmeralda, say, there's a good chance you're not going to remember Madame Eve after this.
Such a significant change would suggest we are on the right track. Hopefully I'll still remember how to draw my cards.
Yeah. Might need to do ourselves a final reading on that before we head to Ravenloft.
Does Ez remember Jenny?
Oh, yeah, that's the point. Does Ez remember Jenny?
Well, yes, of
Remember
course. That's why we ventured to the Fane.
There you go.
We haven't actually asked anyone else if they remember Yenny, have we yet?
Yeah.
Well, Majesto said everyone's forgotten.
Yeah.
And we trust him.
I don't distrust him.
Really?
I don't think I don't think he gains from the lie. And if he does, then I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Cora is not convinced. So
what then? When we've done it.
I imagine the closest place to head would maybe to go and see Mordenkainen. Come up with some sort of plan to make our assault on Ravenloft.
Sure, seems like a good idea to me.
Fucking happening, guys! It's fucking happening!
I mean, we've got half an hour left. We can get that forest vein done.
Fucking done.
So after the forest vein, you're gonna go straight on to Mordenkainen's cave to.
It depends how
It
damaged
depends
we
what
get.
happens. Yeah, it
Of course,
depends what
yeah.
happens once we've done all this shit.
But Endless, after we had the Anya incident, you never gave me back the ring of the Charmbreaker ring. Do you think I should hang on to it, or do you want it?
And I look at the ring. It's mine. Why should you have it?
I suppose you think that was terribly funny. Terribly clever.
Yeah, I think you are potentially. Do you know what? Whoever has it, the DM's gonna just make a point of fucking over the other person, like, oh, they were more dangerous. But if you wish to attune to it, then by all means. One brooch of shielding. And I will send. Haha, nothing. Keep it.
Psych.
Oh. What have I just done with it? Enchantment breaker. Send to player. All 4. Brooch of shielding. Okay. I will attune to the brooch of shielding then. Anybody want the gloves of missile snaring?
No. I'm attuned to better things.
Does
Check out
Esmeralda
the
want them?
bigger? Esmeralda, I think we're just keeping to her plus weapons.
Okay.
Before we go to the forest vein, do you think that, because I've got to have like a token to represent her, do you think that the mirror is going to be enough?
A token? What does it say?
Something along those lines.
Things that I can think of off the top of my head would be a Taraka deck or knuckle bones, etc.
A token or relic representing the entity.
Like a mirror.
She is a seer.
A
Mirror.
scrying mirror. You can scry with a mirror.
Does it mention any other steps or objects?
Do we still have the Tarocca cards that she gave us?
No, we didn't. She didn't give us any.
No.
She just
No,
showed
she's
us hers.
yeah.
Ez has them, but it is like you're never going to get a Vistana to give up their Taraka deck.
Even to restore the fames.
Well, that's up to Esmeralda, I guess. Maybe she will. If she needs to. I don't know. Might not need to.
I imagine that there's none in the house that we're staying in. That creepy magical
Tarocca
boy
cards,
didn't leave
sacred
some
Tarocca
lying
cards,
around.
no.
Damn. Well, I'm just hoping a mirror works then, eh?
If not, we'll just kill Esmeralda and take hers.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
So,
Off we go.
I've got a set of regular playing cards.
Just draw some Taraka features on them.
But first, a game of Gwen.
It's basically the same thing.
Need to see which spells I want to prepare. Shit, boy.
Oh yeah, what does the Exalted Argent Aegis do, Jim?
it gives you one more ability. Using a bonus action, the wielder can plant the shield and protect an adjacent ally, imparting +3 to their AC until the beginning of the wielder's next turn, or until the ally is no longer adjacent to them, whichever comes first. Basically, you can plant the shield. You can do a stationary Reinhardt with it.
V cool.
So you are travelling to the...
To the windmill, my pretty.
Oh,
Well.
don't do that again.
to where once there was a windmill.
Yeah.
Are you taking the wagon?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, I set a I just set an effect, but it went totally fucking crackers. There we go, it's fine. So as you're travelling, a light bit of rain strikes up throughout the morning. You head east out of Valaki and take the road. For a time, the sounds of the town falling away behind you and leaving you with the sounds of the Svalich. You go through, if you remember, those quite winding sort of rocky paths. You would pass through the gates of Barovia. Have you set? Oh, would you? Yeah, I think you would. The second set of gates. Maybe. We'll find out. If you don't before the Thane, you will immediately after. And after a couple of hours of travel, you come to the bottom of the promontory rise that leads up to where the windmill used to be until you used all 3 stones to absolutely Balrog smite it upon the mountainside. And beyond, slightly beyond the ruins of the windmill, you see in the distance the megaliths, the standing stones that make the forest Thane.
Hmm.
Ooh.
More spooky art.
I guess we just approach, right?
Yeah.
And as we're walking up the hill, do we still see the light of
You do?
Argynvost?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Safe to say,
Yeah, I keep seeing it unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah. I will tell
And I
you
presume
if...
we would notice if it just suddenly went out. It'd be like, what the?
Yeah. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
See his face everywhere. Just the land. Okay.
Marchy, 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 up the little hill. I don't like that music, that's not good.
Ooh, we've not been here before.
It looks very familiar,
It's just
but back to front.
It's just a really good map.
I mean, kind of feel like I should go to the centre of this circle.
Who's this incredible map by?
I don't actually know.
Afternoon maps.
Do you study all map makers?
No, you just get very familiar with their style.
I'll be
No.
right here by your side.
No, you stood over there first.
And I bonus action protect her.
Yeah, I mean, it only lasts 6 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not-
I keep doing it.
I'm not even going to have finished
Fair
my
enough.
ritual by then. Is everybody ready?
As will ever be.
You ready? Let's go, girls.
I'm going out tonight.
Is it actually raining?
Yes.
I'm happy about that.
So why say you're not happy about it?
I hate rain. It gets everywhere. It's wet.
We are here at the site of the old windmill to honour Madame Eva at the site of the forest fane. We honour her with this mirror. I take out the mirror and I put it on the floor in front of me. Madame Eva, we honour you. We pledge fealty to you and promise to look within. And I look down into the glass as I say one more time, Madame Eva, we honour you. Restore this place.
You all notice from the distant trees, from ruins of the windmill, hundreds of ravens just take off and scatter in every direction. And a few moments later, you all feel a low, strong, steady tremor as just everything shakes. And a moment later, the stone just slakes off and cracks and falls off all of the standing stones around you, revealing a highly sheened, polished black stone underneath. There's just this crumble and this just cloud of dust goes up, but the rain seems to be patting it down and there isn't too much of a dust cloud, and you just see that you are now surrounded by these just highly mirrored obsidian sort of versions of the stones. Looking into them, you see yourselves reflected, but it quite quickly doesn't seem right. You're not when you look to each of them, you're not reflected in all of them. Halvor, you are reflected in this one. You look stern. You all look quite distant and have like this very, very serious countenance on your face. So Halvor, you are here. Cora, you see yourself reflected here. Bartandalis, you see yourself reflected here. And as you're sort of stepping over and looking, Ez sort of falls in behind you all. Like, what is it? What's happening?
Ez, can you see yourself in any of these blocks?
How do you mean? It's just stone.
But it's so shiny. Can you see your reflection?
It's shiny, yes. I don't see anything though. And as sort of each of you look at your own sort of stone, you all begin to hear, just repeating in your own voices, coming from the stones, choose, choose, choose. And it just keeps repeating.
What? Do you hear that?
All three of you hear. Each of you
Imagine we all
hears
just kind of like start looking at each other at the same
yourself.
point, like.
And you get the sense that one of you must choose. One of you must step forward. But you get the sense that each of you looking into your reflection in the stone, it's a version of you that doesn't look right, doesn't look happy, doesn't look pleased to see you. And looking in at yourselves, you know that the reflection held within the monolith bears you ill intent. Who's going to choose? Who's going to reach out first and touch?
I do it.
I step forward, but then I guess Halvor just kind of like runs forward.
You can initiative it if you want to, but or if you're happy just to say that Halvor gets there
I
first.
was being more tentative. I feel like Halvor will try to make a point of
Well,
being the first one.
But I worry that whatever it is going to come out, and we're going to have
Yeah.
to fight it. And I don't want
Yeah.
to fight another Halvor.
Not got time to think about that though. I think Halvor's gone for it.
I was imagining that if someone's got to, face
Sacrifice
themselves or
themselves.
something,
Mhm.
then I would want to protect you and be the one that would make that choice. So that's what he does.
Either that, or you've just chosen the strongest person for us to fight.
Maybe.
Halvor. Thunder starts up as you see from looking further away. As you approach, the reflection doesn't come any closer. So even it's quite surreal how you're stood in front of it and it still seems set back. As you touch it, it begins to stride towards the edge of the monolith. And as you step back, it walks straight out. This figure is immediately recognizable as Halvor, but is taller, broader. He no longer wields a sun sword, but some enormous, deep blue glaive. And as he steps forth, you see lightning crackling all over him. As
That's
Halvor,
cool.
the Storm Lord, steps out.
What could have been.
And we're going to start next week with the rolling of initiative. As this figure,
Yeah, this was the worst decision I
levels-
could have made, isn't it?
Yeah.
As it levels the glaive at you. That's where we're going to pick up next week. Prepare for combat next week.
I'm also a little bit concerned that by damaging that thing, we'll end up damaging you.
Imagine how quick this combat would have been if we'd chosen bot handlers.
But also-
You say that.
I
You
think
say
you'd
that.
all be surprised how any of these combats would go.
I think if this is like a level X fighter now, I would sooner face that than a level X wizard.
With, like, the
I'm
wish
just-
spell and shit.
I'm just
Yeah.
annoyed that I haven't got to bring out What If Cora and summoned all her blight owls I created.
Blight owls!
Cora
I didn't know
was
they
going
were.
to be.
Sound
If
amazing.
Cora, let me tell you the names I had for the others. So I've got Halvor the Storm Lord. Oh, why isn't that coming through? Oh, let's have a look. Yeah, Halvor the Storm Lord. Cora Blightroot, Fanebreaker. And the other one isn't called...
A capo.
No, Herald of the Ever Living. But yeah, Blight Owls. I was ready to fuck you with Blight Owls.
I was so close to saying that I would step forward because I was the one that summoned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fight would turn into Blight Owls versus regular owls.
My money's on the
16 owls on the map.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, we will start with a good scrap next week. I thought you were going to come straight here about resting. I was like, okay. Good. A good session, everyone. A lot accomplished.
Yeah, we did. We've only got one Fane to get, and then Fanes are done, dude.
Fucking Officer Ravenloft soon.
I mean, that's if I don't just get executed right now by myself.
Alright,
And then the rest of us as well.
I mean, I switched out to Meteor Swarm for Fly, so I'm good. Although he's a Storm Lord, so I'm quite sure he would just lightning me down from the ground, so that probably wouldn't work as planned.
Well, we will... Oh, no, it's 2 weeks,
We're not
isn't
here
it?
next week, yeah.
Oh, we will pick up in 2 weeks with a bloody big scrap.
Eek!
Thank you very much, everybody. We had quite a few viewers tonight.
Are we
Quite a few
even back in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
What?
Are we not? I'm back at work, so...
You said you will not be here on the 28th. Following that is the 5th.
Oh, right, yeah, that makes sense.
Good.
Yeah, never mind me.
Excellent. Well, thank you for playing. Thank you, viewers. And we will
Thank you,
not see
viewers.
you. We will not see you next week. We will see you in 2 weeks' time for a big fucking fight.
Fight.
See you then.
Bye bye.
See you later. Bye.